Hey guys, so we are at Flagstaff, Arizona at the Lowell Observatory. It's kind of a neat place, lots of things happening, but it's very significant to the history of America. Behind me is the mausoleum where Percival Lowell is buried. He established this observatory here in 1894. Just 2 years later, in 1896, he would establish his telescope, his main telescope here in that building, the Clark Telescope, which he used for many years. Now, Lowell could not know his significant place in history, even up until when he died in 1916. Lowell Observatory had not taken its place in history yet. It would be just a few short years later, after his death, in 1930, when this observatory would actually be credited with finding the planet of Pluto. We move forward, though, in history and get to the 1960s, and you've heard us talk about the Cold War. We've discussed the space race. We've discussed communism versus democracy and all those things. So how does Lowell Observatory incorporate into that? Well, in the 1960s, NASA used these telescopes here, particularly the Clark telescope, to map out the lunar surface. They used those maps that they made here to determine the missions of the Apollo space shuttles when they would go and land on the moon. So the Lowell Observatory, Percival Lowell, not knowing his place in history, really developed this observatory here that changes the way that America is today. We have the planet Pluto now as a result of their scientific discoveries. And then we also have all of the things that happened during that space race that we know about. And all of that was based on the science that was happening in that building right behind me.